All right, so we've got this fresh Squid Game material landing, and that's exactly what we're digging into today.
Yeah, the new teaser, those images, lots to talk about.
Definitely. So our mission here is to, pull out the biggest insights, the key fan theories that are already bubbling up.
And we're using that teaser breakdown video plus a trailer analysis, right? Those are our main sources.
That's the plan. So let's get straight into it.
This new stuff gives us a lot to chew on for sure. We need to look past just what's on screen.
Right, look for the signals, maybe the misdirects too. Okay, first up, Gi-hoon.
Ah, yes, Gi-hoon.
The teaser, bam, throws us right in. Looks like he's back, maybe literally pulled from a coffin.
It seems like it. He's alive, which, confirms those whispers, but maybe not exactly thriving.
Not thriving, no.
Yeah.
Wheeled around in that box, grim.
And his survival, well, it raises questions, doesn't it? One source really hammers this point.
Like, why him?
Exactly. Why him when other players who rebelled, like players 246, 145, they apparently didn't make it.
So is it just luck? Or something else pulling the strings? Seems uneven for a supposedly equal game.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. And the big theory is maybe his survival isn't about him winning again.
You mean it's for the VIPs? Like, bring back the champ for more spectacle?
That seems to be the thinking. Keep the star player, but keep him on a very short leash this time.
Which ties into that image, right?
Right.
Gi-hoon handcuffed to a bed.
Precisely. It screams limited freedom. They learned from his defiance last time.
No more messing with the votes or starting rebellions. Keep the main attraction under control.
Makes sense from their twisted perspective. Can't have him disrupting the show again.
Okay, so moving on from Gi-hoon's situation, the games themselves. Looks like something new is happening.
Yeah, that gachapon machine. Like those little capsule toy dispensers.
Totally. And players drawing red and blue balls. That's how they're forming teams, it seems.
And what's really interesting is it looks completely random, not based on who voted together before or anything.
Which could totally mess with any alliances, right? Force enemies together.
Absolutely. Deliberately disrupting things, raising the stakes in a different way.
So some sharp eyes have apparently pieced together potential teams from the footage. Red team.
Okay, so the breakdown suggests red team might be Gi-hoon, Namu, Yumja, MG Coin, Junhee, and Minsu.
Ooh, okay. That's potentially explosive. Minsu and Namo on the same side.
Right. Talk about friction. That dynamic was always tense, could lead to a massive blow-up.
Or, maybe they have to work together. Desperate times.
Could go either way. An uneasy truce, maybe. Yeah. And the blue team.
Speculation there points to Henju, Youngsig, the shaman lady, and player 100.
Okay. But Daiho's placement, still a bit fuzzy.
Yeah, the source mentioned it wasn't totally clear for Daiho yet. Needs more looking.
Gotcha. But here's where it gets really juicy, right? The type of game.
Yes, this tag game theory.
In a maze setting,
but
with
like
a timer ticking down.
Version.
Sounds intense.
And the teams have totally different jobs.
Using a key, apparently. So they're
They need to
searching,
find safe
maybe
rooms.
vulnerable while they're trying to unlock safety.
While red team, their job is
super aggressive. And there are visual clues
eliminate the
supporting
blue
this, aren't
players.
there? The entrances.
Yeah, blue team goes through a key-shaped entrance. Red team.
That's not subtle.
A knife shape.
Key versus knife. Safety versus aggression.
What do you make of that?
It feels pretty direct, like maybe
Just
setting up their
straightforward
roles,
symbolism.
their fates almost, right from the start, highlighting the lack of real choice.
Yeah,
Like the
fatalistic's a good word for it. And it ties into other clues.
Instagram photo.
Exactly. The shaman lady
Okay, so the
holding
key
a
is vital for blue. And
Seems
for
pretty
red.
important for blue team.
Weapons. Knives. Blue. Weapons. Knives.
Well, there's evidence pointing that way. A leaked image, apparently, showing
And wasn't there a scene
Namu
in the
with
teaser?
something like a knife.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, really unsettling. A blood trail
Near Gi-hoon.
leading to a dead player in a
Any
blue vest.
significance?
Near Gi-hoon.
There.
Get this. The clock in the
Whoa.
shot is
Okay, that's
supposedly
specific.
pointing to
An
Gi-hoon's
Easter egg
player
linking
number.
him to the kill.
Could be. But,
What's
gotta be
that?
careful. One source did offer another idea, that maybe those things aren't knives. Maybe just
okay.
forks
A less violent possibility.
from a meal or something.
It's true. We are just seeing fragments. Good to keep alternatives in mind. Yeah.
Definitely don't want to jump the gun.
Yeah.
But then
Oh.
there's another
what's this
leak
one?
that
It claims
fits the
player
violent
100
tag
gets
game idea.
betrayed by a teammate. Player 226, apparently. That's the
Well,
claim.
he's looking through a
And it
keyhole,
lines up disturbingly
leading to
well
his
with
death.
that shot we see. That's how we see.
Of the
It
shaman
suggests that
lady looking
using the
through a
key,
keyhole.
searching
Okay,
for
yeah,
safety, actually
that
puts
connection.
them in more danger. From teammates, too, maybe.
And adding to that tension, there's a quick glimpse
But
of
unarmed?
Yinju. Looks like
Mm,
she's ready to fight, fists up. Seems like it. Maybe
possible.
facing a red
We
team
also see
member,
Minsu
having to
looking
rely just on
incredibly
herself.
angry. Really intense.
Yeah. And the theory there is
Being
maybe he
forced onto
finally
the same
snaps,
team could definitely push
turns
their
on
volatile
Namu.
relationship past the breaking point. All that tension amplified. Breaking point. Amplified.
Okay, so summing up that game theory. High stakes tag, maze, clock ticking, blue seeks safety with keys,
Yeah, that's
red
the
hunts
dominant
them
theory.
down.
But one
Seems like the
source
main
rightly
idea right
points
now.
out, yeah, maybe the key and knife means something more complex. Could be the key unlocks something
Like not
else,
just
or the
one team
knife
gets wiped
means
out.
a different kind of elimination, not necessarily death for everyone on the losing side.
Interesting thought. Or maybe it's simpler, more brutal.
There's that
Just
other image
hand-to-hand combat,
supporting that idea
still
too,
with
the
that
dead
timer.
blue player in the background.
Yeah, behind Gi-hun in his red vest, and player 120
So
nearby, blue
multiple
vest, fighting
possibilities seem
stance, same
deliberately
setting.
shown. Rich visuals, but still ambiguous. Classic Squid Game buildup.
Absolutely keeps you guessing.
Right.
Okay,
He voted
let's
to
talk
leave.
Minsu again.
End of
His
season
vest
2.
color.
Blue badge.
But now, red vest in the new footage.
Well, the
What
plausible
gives? Did
theory
he
is
switch
maybe
sides?
he changed his vote off screen, perhaps after the rebellion.
Maybe got
That's
scared.
the idea.
Renewed
Survival
fear of
instinct
Namu,
kicking
perhaps?
in, overriding the desire to leave. The game dynamic shifted.
Makes sense. Okay, shifting gears now. Big emotional
Ah,
potential
yes.
here.
That baby crying right at
Junie
the
and
end
the
of the
baby.
teaser.
Everyone assumes Johnny gave birth.
Right.
But one theory
A
says
misdirect. Why? To make a
maybe
potential
that's a
death
misdirect.
later hit harder?
That's the theory. Set up the expectation of the baby then. Tragedy.
How so?
And the evidence cited is Junie's face. There's a shot of her looking absolutely devastated, but she's not wearing her player vest,
Okay. And that
suggesting
ties
a
into
loss
MG
outside the
coin.
game itself.
Coin.
Yeah, because we see him looking totally shattered, but he is
So the
still wearing
sequence
his red
could be
vest.
MG
implying
Coin
it's during
realizes
tag
he's
game.
about to be eliminated.
And then later, Junie finds out and has that reaction.
But
A
we also
double
have to
gut
consider
punch.
the straightforward interpretation, right?
That the baby crying just means Johnny
Could be.
did give birth.
And maybe that connects to
during
the
the
other
games.
shot, the pregnant player crying.
Possibly. Maybe she was crying because something happened to her ex,
It's an
the
emotional
YouTuber.
minefield, these
Highlights the
theories. The
vulnerability.
baby cry could even link back to the pregnant player. Maybe she got hurt, but the baby survived.
Wow.
It's what
Yeah,
the show does
stakes are
well, right?
definitely high
Mixing
on
the
a
brutal
personal level
games
for
with
them.
these intense personal stories.
Totally. Okay, what
And
about
one
the guy
source
in
notes
charge?
he looks
The front man.
kind of
He's back.
downcast, maybe regretful.
Regretful. About
That's the
betraying
suggestion.
Gi-hun,
Could be
maybe?
a major
Questioning
internal
his whole
conflict
role.
for him this season, driving his story.
Interesting. And speaking of people
He
we
seems to
thought
be
were
back.
gone,
Looks like
player
him.
246.
Same profile, hairstyle.
but he seemed to be killed. Now he's in a green uniform.
Yeah,
With
it's
a tracker,
surprising. Green uniform,
like Gi-hun
tracker,
was after season 1.
still
Yeah.
under their control somehow. How did he survive?
The theory involves that pink guard, the one who was
That's the
kinder to
idea.
him.
Maybe she helped him somehow. Suggests maybe there are factions or people bending the rules within the guards.
Okay, another player to watch. Player 124. The
With
chaotic
Thanos'
one.
drugs, right? And he drew a red ball. Gi-hun's team.
Yep. So the expectation is chaos. He's going
With
to be
those
unpredictable.
drugs, yeah. Dangerous for the other team, maybe dangerous for his own team too. A total wild card.
Definitely. Now let's shift to the guards themselves.
The one who had
female
doubts
guard.
last. We see her sneaking around.
Through vents, yeah. And eventually gets outside the island complex. Looks like she's finally acting on her
Makes sense,
conscience.
given her objections and the threats she faced. So what's her plan?
Escape. Try to expose the whole thing. Maybe find Lieutenant Huang Junho.
Possibility. And she's seen in the archive room too, right? With a lighter.
Yes. Where they keep all the game records.
Mm-hmm.
Theory is She might burn it
Whoa,
all down.
destroying the evidence. That's huge. That's,
Powerful defiance, yeah.
yeah.
But also, you lose
Mhm.
all that proof, right?
True.
Could
A
backfire.
big gamble. And speaking of Junho, he's back too.
Seems like it. Made it to the island alone in
Which
a
fits with
diving
that
suit.
leak about his team being attacked, only him and no eel surviving.
Looks that way. So he's back in the belly of the beast, probably after losing people.
Probably
What state will he be in?
determined, maybe vengeful. And the theory is he'll team up with no eel. Right.
Yeah, she also seems to be
And she's
working
also
against
seen
the
in the
system
archive
now.
room with a lighter too.
Yep. So maybe they
Yeah.
coordinate. Or both have the same idea.
But
Burn
again,
the
is that the
records.
best move? Destroying potential evidence.
It's the big question.
Yeah.
What's more effective? Disruption now or evidence for later?
Yeah.
But her being there with a lighter, she's definitely changed sides.
Yeah. No question
Officially.
about that. Okay, and finally, the piggy bank.
The massive, iconic piggy bank. Back again. Stuffed
Same
with cash.
shot as when Gihun won season 1. What does it mean this time?
Does it guarantee another single winner? Just one
Or
person takes it
maybe
all
it
again?
shows up before the final game to motivate the last few players, like they do in big poker tournaments sometimes.
Ooh, interesting point. Maximize the pressure, the greed,
Exactly.
right before
It
the end.
definitely brings that huge prize money back into sharp focus.
Okay, wow. So pulling it all together. Gihun's back but controlled. A deadly tag game with random teams shifting loyalties
Potential
like Minsu's.
betrayals, Junie and MG Coin's possible tragic arc, the baby mystery, the frontman's potential regret.
Player 246 is back. Player 124 is a chaos bomb waiting to go off. The guard and no eel rebelling.
And the
Junho
piggy
infiltrating.
bank looming large again. It's a lot of threads.
So many clues, so many potential misdirects like we expect from Squid Game. Which brings us to a final thought
Considering
for you, the
everything
listener.
we've just talked, the new game, the old faces, the twists.
What's the one thing, the one element in all of this that you think has the biggest potential to completely flip our
What could be the
expectations?
ultimate curveball that turns everything we think we know about Squid Game completely upside down?
Give that some thought. Maybe rewatch the teaser with that question in mind. Until our next deep dive, keep theorizing.
Audio Jungle.